watching this video, then I'm probably already dead. The moment I heard that sentence, I paused the video, because the person talking was my best friend, Ethan. Ethan was the kind of guy everyone liked. Funny, outgoing, always energetic. In college, he had a small YouTube channel where he explored abandoned places and did late-night horror live streams. But around the end of last November, something about him changed. At first, we thought it was relationship problems, then maybe depression. But later, I realized it was something else. He kept saying someone stood outside his apartment every night. One night, around 3 a.m., Ethan called me. The second I answered, he whispered, "Bro, she came back." Half asleep, I asked, "Who?" There was silence for a few seconds. Then he said, "The girl who killed herself here." My entire body went cold, because a few months earlier, a girl really had committed suicide in Ethan's apartment building. She had hanged herself from the ceiling fan. There was even a police report about it. I told Ethan he was overthinking things, but he replied in a shaky voice, "I saw her standing by the window." After that night, his behavior became disturbing. He covered every mirror in the apartment. He slept with all the lights on. And the strangest thing was, every single night he started a live stream at exactly 3:13 a.m. One night, curiosity got the better of me, and I joined the stream. At first, everything seemed normal. Ethan was walking through the apartment with the camera, joking nervously. Then, suddenly, the video froze. The comments exploded instantly. "Behind you, there's someone there." Ethan turned around. Nobody was there. But in the reflection of the microwave behind him, I saw something. A woman standing in the dark kitchen. Long black hair, head tilted downward, neck bent unnaturally to one side. My heart started pounding. I immediately tried calling Ethan, but his phone was busy. Back on the stream, Ethan looked terrified. "Guys, did somebody break into my apartment?" Then, suddenly, slam! The bedroom door shut by itself. The camera shook violently as Ethan ran toward it. He opened the door fast. Nobody inside. But the ceiling fan was slowly spinning, and hanging from it was a rope. The comments went insane. Some people thought it was fake. Others were begging him to call the police. Then Ethan pulled the camera close to his face and whispered, "She won't let me sleep." I still remember the tone of his voice. His eyes had deep black circles under them. He looked like he hadn't slept in weeks. Then the audio started distorting, and through the static, a woman's voice whispered softly, "Do it." Ethan froze completely. I was literally screaming at my monitor, "Run!" But it was like he couldn't hear anything anymore. Slowly, the camera turned toward the bedroom again. Under the ceiling fan, there was now a chair. Then the stream suddenly ended. Black screen. The next morning, police found Ethan dead inside the apartment. Everyone ruled it a suicide. But I still don't believe that, because 1 second before the live stream cut out, I saw something no human being should ever see. On the corner of the ceiling, a woman was crouched upside down, staring directly at Ethan. Back in my senior year of high school, I worked part-time as a janitor at the school. At night, the entire building became completely empty except for me and the security guard. Everything was fine until that incident happened. There had always been rumors about the second-floor boys' bathroom. Years earlier, a student named Noah had supposedly killed himself there. People said he was heavily bullied. One afternoon after lunch break, he locked himself inside a stall and slit his wrists. I never believed ghost stories. But one night while cleaning, I noticed something strange. The last bathroom stall was locked. I assumed someone was inside. I knocked and said, "School's closed." No answer. Then I looked underneath the stall door. I saw a pair of shoes. Annoyed, I knocked harder. "Hey!" Still nothing. So I used the master key from security and unlocked the stall. Nobody inside, but the floor was soaked. Dark reddish water covered the tiles. My hands started shaking immediately because the smell smelled exactly like blood. I cleaned the bathroom quickly and left. But after that night, strange things started happening. Whenever I walked through the hallway, it felt like someone was walking behind me. Bathroom faucets turned on by themselves. And every night at exactly 11:47 p.m., that same stall locked itself. One night, I decided to check the security cameras. I sat in the monitor room, rewinding footage. 11:47 p.m. The bathroom appeared completely empty. Then, slowly, the last stall door closed on its own. My skin crawled instantly. A moment later, the camera fueled with static. But inside the static, for a few frames, I saw a teenage boy standing by the sink, head lowered, blood dripping from his wrists. I immediately called the security guard, Marcus. The second he saw the footage, he went silent. Then he looked at me and said, "You need to quit this job tomorrow." I nervously laughed and asked why. Marcus stayed quiet for a while before answering, "Because I've seen him too." My stomach dropped. Marcus explained that years ago he saw Noah standing inside that bathroom late at night, and ever since then, any janitor who worked too many late shifts eventually had a mental breakdown. I tried convincing myself it was all stress, but that same night, the final incident happened. I was mopping the hallway when I heard someone crying inside the bathroom, very softly. I slowly stepped inside. The lights were flickering. The last stall was closed again, and from inside I heard whispering, "Help me." My body went ice cold. I walked closer to the stall. Then I looked underneath the door. Bare feet, not shoes, and blood was dripping onto the floor. I immediately backed away, but before I could run, the stall door slowly creaked open. Inside stood a teenage boy, school uniform, pale skin, wrists sliced open, and his eyes completely black. He stared directly at me and whispered, "They watched me die." Then every light in the building shut off at once. I ran out of that school screaming. The next morning, I quit immediately. But even now, years later, at exactly 11:47 p.m., I sometimes receive voicemails from an unknown number, and all you can hear is dripping water.
My younger sister, Emily, killed herself one freezing winter morning. The police ruled it an overdose. My entire family was devastated. But the most disturbing thing wasn't her death. It was the suicide note she left behind. Because one sentence stood out immediately. It wasn't my choice. At first, we assumed she meant depression. But after the funeral, strange things started happening inside the house. Late at night, I kept hearing noises coming from Emily's room. Drawers opening, soft crying, footsteps. One night, I finally gathered enough courage to go inside. Everything was untouched. Her perfume still lingered in the air. I was about to leave when I heard knocking from inside the wardrobe. My chest tightened instantly. Slowly, I opened it. Inside was nothing except Emily's old diary. I brought it downstairs and started reading. The first few pages seemed normal. Then the writing changed completely. Emily had written, "Every night someone stands beside my bed." Another page said, "He says if I don't kill myself, he'll hurt my family." My entire body went cold. Emily had never suffered from schizophrenia or hallucinations. She had no history of mental illness. I carried the diary upstairs again. Then, suddenly, thud! A loud noise came from Emily's bedroom, like someone had just run across the floor. I slowly walked toward the room. The door was shut, and from the inside I heard scratching. The second I opened the door, the sound stopped. The room was empty, but written across the mirror in finger marks were the words, "You left her alone." My hands started trembling, because the night Emily died, I wasn't home. The guilt started destroying me. Over the next few days, I barely slept. Every night I heard footsteps in the hallway. Then one night I woke up and saw my bedroom door slightly open, and standing in the gap was a figure watching me. Long hair, thin body. I froze completely. After a few seconds, the figure slowly walked away into the darkness of the hallway. I forced myself to follow it. The hallway was empty, but Emily's bedroom door was open again. I stepped inside. The ceiling fan was spinning slowly, and underneath it, a chair. My breathing stopped. Then suddenly, behind me, I heard a woman whisper, "Why didn't you help me?"
I turned around instantly. Nobody there, but in the mirror, Emily stood behind me, pale face, dark shadows under her eyes. Slowly, she lifted one hand and pointed toward her throat. Then she vanished. I panicked and ran from the room. The next morning, I opened Emily's diary again. There was a sentence on the final page I swear hadn't been there before. I still see him behind you. My heart nearly stopped. Slowly, I looked up from the diary toward the bedroom mirror, and standing directly behind me was a tall man, smiling